So, you know, one of the things that I found
Hey
is
guys,
that as a mom,
it's
we're
me,
no
Redrick here,
longer
the mom
multitasking,
strategist.
we're
I've
megatasking.
got a great scope for you guys today. I hope you're ready. Get out your pad and your paper and your pens and get ready to write this down. Great scope tonight on how to own your power. You want to know how to own your power? That's what we're going to be talking about. Invite your friends. Now, if you're watching the replay, your hearts do count.
So I always
I'm
bring
watching
with
you.
me
Okay, your
my
hearts
jump
count.
rope,
Hey there, good to
as well
see
as my
you.
resistance bands. Easy way
Thank
to get your
you
workout
for inviting
in
your
any
followers.
day, anytime.
This is going to be a great scope today,
Can dads
guys.
have one too?
Absolutely. Dads create the best toolkits.
If you're watching
the
from your
deal
computer,
is
you
just
can
be
still
prepared
share on
wherever you're
Facebook,
going to
on
be that
Twitter.
day with your family.
Hey Tara, good to see you. I hope you're ready.
You have ever said
This is going to be a great scope tonight. Great late night scope.
Blending is when
You guys are going to love it. Invite your friends. Let's pack it out, guys. You want to know how to own your power? That's what we're going to be talking about.
Blending in your life. How are you taking care of yourself?
Christina is in the house. Good to see you guys. I am so excited. You know, I get fired up on these scopes. So thank you for sharing, Tara. I appreciate it, guys. Let's pack it out. Like, tell your friends on Twitter, on Facebook.
We've had over
on
283 self-care groups, and
more
I think
people
the power of the groups has been that moms have no judgment, just camaraderie. You have an opportunity
if you're new to my scopes, you're gonna love
demographics of motherhood. And I firmly believe that moms aren't necessarily looking to balance their work and their life. I think what we want more of is joy. Creating opportunities to experience joy on a daily basis in your life is the goal. The next time you and your family need a getaway, try a staycation.
Thank you for the hearts, guys. It's okay to heart. It's totally
in your
okay.
hometown. Play a tourist. This might be exactly what your family needs to refuel and reconnect,
in the house. Good to see
even in the middle of your busy lives. Remember, when mama's happy, everyone else is happy.
Now, when most people think of dating, they think of being single, going out on the town. But when you're married with kids, that's when the real dating fun should begin.
It sure is. Well, our mom strategist explains why and shares her rules of family.
Let's pack it out, guys. We're going to get started in about a minute. 1 minute. And if you have any friends that you want to invite them. Anyone that needs to own their power, you're going to love this scope. I am fired up tonight.
Date at home.
So you guys know
what I get a lot of my clients to do is to create a dating box, and in that box, you and your husband can put things that you want to enjoy together. Because sometimes we have opportunities to date our partners, but we don't have a whole lot of time. It might be you have 90 minutes, but by the time he has to go and get the movie or get a meal, the time that you would have spent together is gone.
Thank you, Mia. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, welcome the author of Time for Mommy, 365 Daily Strategies for Mother's Self-Care, Mia Redrick. Mia, thank you so much.
I just watched your last story. Did you love it?
Pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Awesome.
You did help me with some.
Which the scope from last night? Which scope did you just see? The one from last night was great. They're all good. I think how to handle people who can't be happy for you is a really good one. And one of my favorites is my highlights for 2015. Okay. Yeah, it's really good. There's so many good ones there. Over 150 scopes on branding and building your business that you really can't go wrong. Yeah, it just expired. Okay. Yeah, there are over 100 at catch.me. 150 of them. Content rich, and my goal is to support you guys.
When you have 2 young children, they're a couple that wants to be together. They don't want to be apart. And so you can see.
Thank you so much for the hearts, guys.
Dance together, they reconnect immediately.
I saw you covering your ears when that was happening. Why?
It's emotional.
Yes, it is. Because I love my husband, and we all forget why we got married.
Sometimes we forget. All right, we're ready to get started. Last chance to invite your friends, guys. My people. All right. Let me flip the... You made it. You made it. You made it. Hey there. It's Mia Redrick here. I'm going to fix my top. The mom strategist. Hey, guys. Is my camera clear? I think it's kind of blurred a little bit. 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Is that a little bit better? Okay. Hey there, guys. It's Mia Redrick here, the mom strategist. And I'm I'm fired up about this topic tonight. It's late and it's snowing here in Maryland. We've got snowing issues, okay? It just started to snow. I think there may be 2 inches on the ground already. So they're predicting that we're going to have a lot of snow, and I believe them. I'm pulling my notes. I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist, and I support mostly moms. I know, with life and business success. You guys can always check me out at miaredrick.com, miaredrick.com, and sign up for my newsletter list. Like you should be doing that. If you're watching me all the time, you need to be on my email list because we need to stay connected, right? Don't you agree? Don't you agree? All right. Also, if you are into my scopes and you've missed any, there are over 150. They're content rich, and you can always get them at Catch, KATCH.me, KATCH.me. Now, what I love the scope about is branding, how to position yourself as an expert, how to monetize your gifts, how to handle what's draining you, how to position yourself as an expert. So let me tell you why. So here's my story. I got started in business about 13 years ago. And I really wanted to go to work as myself. I wanted to go to work as myself. Like maybe some of you guys out here, maybe you can relate to me in that I was a corporate trainer. I loved what I got to do as a corporate trainer. And I thought, you know what? If I could combine corporate training and my love of motherhood, right? Thank you so much. And my love of motherhood, that would be the perfect business, right? And so I thought that that's what I wanted to do in business. The challenge was that I didn't know what it would be called. I didn't really know what I would be doing, all right? And so I went to a local business center that helps small businesses get started, met with a counselor who told me that what I'm currently doing right now, like what I've been doing for the last 13 years, that I would never be able to do this professionally, right? Is that amazing? Isn't that amazing? And I ended up hiring a life coach, a business coach, who changed my life, who showed me how to take my gifts and my talents and create a scale of a business. And from that, I've been able to grow my business and be a full-time entrepreneur for the last 10 years. That's my story. And I'm sticking to it. All right. So that's what I love the scope about, because I know that so many of you guys are probably like me. Like maybe you've got great talents that you have from the workforce, or some gift that you have that you want to use, you want to be able to monetize, and you're just trying to figure out how. That was me. That was totally me. So if you're into that, you're going to love all of my scopes, okay? I am a mom. I have 3 kids. I have a 17-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 10-year-old, right? And I've been married for 20 years. As of last month. So that's a little bit about me. It's nice to meet you guys. Now we're going to get started with the scope. Now, before I get started, there's some ground rules on my scopes because they're always really content rich. I'm committed to 2,000 hearts. Hearts are the currency that viewers use to pay broadcasters. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you for saying that too. Nice to meet you also. All right. So, people usually like to write on my scope. So if you don't mind writing, and then tapping. Now you're tapping the screen so we get hearts, so people know that these are great and amazing broadcasts. And that's my commitment to you guys, is giving you guys great content. All right. So tonight we're going to be talking about how to own your power. Now, do you want to talk about that? Like, are you ready to talk about how to own your power? If you are, say, I am ready, Mia. Like, I'm ready to talk about how to own my power. I got a yes. I got one yes so far. I'm ready. Okay, you're ready. Okay, perfect. All right. So we're going to get started, all right? And the list that I have here, it's an early list. I'm ready, right? The list that I have here, they're not in any order of preference. They're just all of the things that came to mind for me today as I came up with my list of what I wanted to talk about today. All right. So number 1, if you want to own your power, I think it's so important to understand that at any moment you can own who you are. Okay. Number 1 thing that you need to own is you need to own your brilliance. All right. And you need to do what you are amazing at and not shrink your shine while you're doing it. And you know what I'm talking about. You know how sometimes you have gifts and you have talents, like something that you're really amazing at. And the challenge is that whenever you're doing it, you try to play it down. You try to shrink your shine. You try to act like, I guess, no big deal. It actually is a big deal. It's called your brilliance. It's your gift. It's yours, all right? And you have to own your gifts and your talents. And I see so many women do this, that they will feel uncomfortable, owning what they did do. That's amazing. And it's important for you to do that so that people who know that you're brilliant at these things, that there might be opportunities for customers, opportunities for you in your life that sometimes we don't get because we won't stand in our own abundance, like our abundance of our gifts. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? And think about it the other way. Like if it's something you're not good at, you're probably really good at saying, I'm not really good at this, right? And you're okay articulating that. But a lot of times on the flip side of that, we're not really good at owning, you know what I'm saying, owning our brilliance, of knowing what you're really good at, like the things that you do exceptionally well. Like for me, what was a game changer for me was that I realized like I am actually I'm a people person. Like that's what I am. I love to teach. That's my brilliance. Okay. I'm a great teacher. I'm a very authentic messenger. That's my brilliance. And I don't say it from a place of arrogance. I say it because it's true. And when you own it and you identify it that way, then you can use it. But when you suppress it and you act like it doesn't exist, sometimes you get confused about what am I really good at? We all have something. We all have something that we're amazing at. And what I need you to do is I need you to own your brilliance, okay? So if you're ready to do that, say, I'm willing to do that this year. I'm gonna own my brilliance. You are such I'm a people person, Tara, and that's who I am. And it's one of the things that I would say is it's an area of genius for me. It's my area of brilliance. I'm a people person. That's who I am, okay? And it's important to know what your strengths are and be able to say what they are and stand in those things and not be apologetic about those things. And that doesn't mean that you're being boastful or braggadocious. It means that you have said, these are the things that I'm really amazing at, and you understand the difference, right? Okay. Number 2 is, this is so good, okay? If you want to own your power, you need to own your boundaries, okay? And that means you need to say what you mean, and you need to mean what you say. Okay, you need to say what you mean, and you need to mean what you say. And so often we don't own our boundaries. We have no boundaries. Anything and everything is okay all day, and it's not. And so the reality is that if you don't have clear boundaries, if you're not owning your boundaries, your conditions for living for yourself or people interacting with you, then what happens is sometimes you negotiate a bad deal for yourself. Now, you guys know I'm telling you the truth, right? Like, at the end of the day, that's what happens when you don't own your boundaries. You don't say what your yeses are. You aren't clear about what your nos are. Then people think everything is okay. And it's not okay. And you know it's not okay because inside you are like, this is not okay. So what I need you to do in 2016 is to own your boundaries. So understand that that's healthy, and that's a point of being very strong. And to me, strong is the new beautiful, right? Like you owning your boundaries and being able to communicate with people what you really feel and what you really need is a very powerful place, because what you get to do is add value to your relationships by being honest in them. When you don't own your boundaries, then the people you're interacting with, guess what? You don't really have an authentic relationship with them because they don't even really know how to behave with you because you aren't being fully transparent. So if you find that this is you, then you need to own your boundaries. Somebody say amen, because I know that this relates to so many women. I see it all the time. They don't say what they need. They don't say what they want. They act like everything is okay, and it's not okay. So do me a favor. If it's okay to right. I know, amen for sure, right? Right, and then tap. Right, and tap. The hearts are not for me. The hearts are so that other people who are going to see this broadcast know that it was amazing, right? That it was good and quality content. It'll be a good use of their time, and hopefully it'll support other people. Number 3 of owning your power. Number 3 is you need to own your mistakes, because they are lessons for you to live powerfully. And I think sometimes we make mistakes and we feel indicted by our mistakes. But what I want you to understand, what I need you to do is to own your mistakes. I want you, when you mess up, you say, I messed up. Just tell people, like, I messed up. I made a mistake. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm learning. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think a lot of times we don't think about it. Like we we are condemned by making mistakes, we condemn ourselves, or we are condemned by failure, I believe that success is built on failure. That's what I believe. And that's what I've seen in my own life over the years. And so I am not defined by my mistakes. I'm refined by my mistakes. And so I need to own them. I need to say, you know what? I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have enough support. You know what? I didn't ask for what I needed. And as a result of that, this is what happened. But I own it. I take 100% responsibility for my life and for what is and what is not working. That's really important. And a lot of us, we don't do that. We like to blame other people when things go wrong. We like to, get upset or get huffy or feel resentful, like you're not being fully supported in your life, right? Or in your business, because we're not owning the mistakes, the choices that we are making. And I believe we have a responsibility to learn from them and to choose powerfully. And all choosing powerfully is learning from what you didn't do before, right? Like learning what you need to do better. That's it. And no one gets it right all the time. And you need to understand that. And if you are inclined to judge yourself when you misstep, you need to understand that everybody's failing. Like success is built on failure. And you need not to take that so seriously, and to understand that you have to take 100% responsibility for what isn't working and say, okay, all right, all right, I get to do this again. You get to do it again. You can do it again. But it's hard to do it again when you condemn yourself, when you judge yourself around whatever is happening, okay? So that's what's really important. Number 5, I want you to commit to serve. All right, you need to commit and serve. What I mean by that is, like, some of you guys can relate to this, right? In terms of owning your power. It's like you sign up to do something and you have great ideas, grandiose ideas about what you're going to do, but you're conditional in your service. You're conditional in sharing your gifts. And if this is you, then what I want you to do is understanding owning your power is honoring your word. And this is so, so important. I see this a lot with women who are in business. They will make a commitment to themselves, whether it's a self-care ritual or whether it's a commitment in their own business of what they're going to accomplish, and they don't serve. Like, they don't do what they say they're going to do. They don't follow the plan. They don't follow their blueprint. They don't support in the same way. Or they sign up for a committee, and then when the wind blows, they are changing what they're doing. What you have to understand is that if you ever want to have more in your life, you've got to take care of less. That means that when you have small opportunities to show up in your life or in your business, how are you showing up? Are you owning your power as it relates to your commitments and your service? Meaning, if you're on a volunteering committee, if you're on some board, are you showing up or you're not showing up? Are you showing up and adding value or are you not showing up and adding value? It doesn't really work both ways. And I meet people all the time that don't understand that little things, it's the little things that become big things. It's not the big things that become big things. It's little things. It's small habits. And what I want you to do is own your power. Understand that the things that you say yes to, okay, then you need to show up fully for that. And if you can't do that, then you need to own your power, set a boundary, right? You get it? Set a boundary and say, I can't do that right now. But owning your power is all about being in truth. It's all about honoring your word. It's all about serving with your whole heart. It's all about being present, right? And knowing that wherever you are is where you want to be, and you want to make a difference with wherever you are with your gifts, right? Does that make sense? All right. So if you need to go out, I need you guys to go out. If you need to reset, right? Because every 500 hearts on Periscope, you have to reset. You literally have to leave the scope and then come back. And then your hearts count. So if you're going to be tapping the screen anyway, I want to make sure those hearts count, okay? And I know you like to write, and tap, tap, tap. Now, I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist, and I support moms with life and business success. You guys can always check me out at miaredrick.com and sign up for my newsletter list or my past scopes at katch.me. katch.me. Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you? We've been talking today about owning your power. I'm just going to recap for you, Shanita. And the first way to own your power is, number 1, you need to own your brilliance. You need to own what you're good at. You need to become unapologetic about what makes you great. And it's okay. Like, become comfortable with knowing what those things are and sharing those things. Number 2, you need to own your boundaries. It's okay to set boundaries. Like, you need to have them. We all need to have healthy boundaries in our lives to be happy. Number 3, you need to own your mistakes. And because they're lessons so that you can live more powerfully. And don't judge yourself by your mistakes. Understand that we all are making mistakes every single day, but you need to own your mistakes. You need to take 100% responsibility for what isn't working, because you get to change that. And you're not defined by what isn't working, you're refined by it. Number 4, you need to own your commitment and serve, right? Like, so if you say yes to something, then do it. Okay, don't be half-hearted about the things that you commit to. So you need to own your power through your commitment. Whatever it is that you say you're going to do, show up and do it. Play full out. See, I say this all the time because I meet women who sign up with me for coaching, and they sign up and they're like, Mia, I'm so excited. I want to change my life. I want to change my business. I want to change my marriage, right? And then months in, they have to do work, this thing called work. Like, they got to implement stuff, okay? And then they start to slowly not honor their commitments, all right? They start to slowly not honor their commitments. All right, hear me now, guys. And this is so true. And if this is you, what you've got to understand, in order to own your power, you got to honor your commitments. Whatever it is that you say you're going to do, you got to follow through on the thing if you want to see results. Very important. I'm going to drink some water because that was good. 1 second. It's true, right? Okay. Now, you also need to own... Oh, this is good. You need to own your community. You need to be part of a tribe that values you in both your deeds and your words. Okay, right? You need to own your community. And that means that you need to be part of a tribe that values you in their deeds and their words. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. Like, some of you guys are hanging with people and hanging out with people who are in your community that they don't value you, that they don't respect you, that it's not the best type of relationship that you deserve. And you need to own that. You need to understand that if you're dealing with any situation that's not loving, kind, that doesn't edify you, that doesn't allow you to feel good about who you are, that doesn't advance your thought process, it is the wrong environment for you. I don't care what it is, all right? So you need to own your community. And that's really important for you to create the community that you need to go on and do whatever it is that you want to do. And I meet people all the time. They find themselves stuck in situations. Why? Because of status, right? That means hanging out with people they don't like, right? Trying to impress people they don't like with money they don't really have anyway, right? And the reality is you need to be around people that respect you, that honor you, that edify you, that make you better. And that's your responsibility in terms of building a community, right? And if you're not doing that for yourself, you deserve that, and you need to do that. You need to choose powerfully to be in community with people who really value you and who love you. And if you don't have that, you don't have those types of relationships, now's the time to start thinking about how you can own your power in the communities that you are part of. I meet people all the time. They make investments and they go places because they want to be seen with certain people, because it makes them feel important, and none of it is real. It's all illusion. What you've got to understand is that illusion isn't real. What is real is that when you're with people who care about you, that there is real love there. That when you're with people who edify you, you know what? You can tell because they're saying great things about you. Anything other than that, it isn't real. And you need to own your power and choose really great environments for you to be and communities to be part of. Just saying. All right. The next thing you need to do, is that you need to own your investments. You need to own your investments. And yeah, you're dropping the mic, right? You need to own your investments. You need to understand that it's your responsibility to plant on fertile ground and don't invest in your insecurities. You need to plant on fertile ground and don't invest in your insecurities. So I'm going to break both of those down for you guys. When you're owning your investments, what you're understanding is that it is your responsibility to do your due diligence with your investments. That means to me, when I'm thinking about it, that's my teachers, my trainers, my mentors, my coaches. I meet people all the time. They choose personality right, over like substance. I don't even get it. Like they'll go to an event, they'll see somebody dynamic on stage, and they'll watch this person tell a great and amazing story, and as a result of that, they fall in love with the story and they forget about what they need. What you need to understand is that when you are hiring people to support you with accountability and to change your life, those people need to have what you need. Not the story doesn't need to be a story that inspires you only. Do the people that you're investing in have what you need? Do they have what you need? Okay? And if they don't, then they might be dynamic speakers, but they might not be the right coaches for you. And you've got to understand that as you're choosing powerfully for yourself, when you're owning that piece, all right? That's just, to me, really, really important. I think so often we don't do it. Like, we are in the world where people are literally, we're in like the glossy, slick age where people just go to a website, they see people, you don't really know their walk, you don't know if they've done the things that they're telling you that they've done. I meet people all the time, they hire people who say, hey, I'm going to help you become a #1 bestseller. And the person teaching them doesn't even have a book, all right? And you know what? I always say, did you do your due diligence? Did you see a book? Like, because to me, success leaves clues, and that is so important. And this is not about saying who to work with or who not to work with. It is about you owning your power and understanding that you get to choose your teachers, and you need to choose your teachers based on what you need. And so many people don't know to do it. They don't know to do those things. All right. The next thing is to understand not to invest in your insecurities. That's a part of owning your power. See, a lot of times what happens is, it's so easy to talk to people about lack because people are thinking about what they don't have. I don't have money. I don't have time. I don't have love. So if I'm marketing to you and I talk to you about what you don't have, instantly there's chemistry because you're thinking, wow, I don't have those things. I don't have money. But the question is that what you need? Like when you're trying to buy or choose powerfully for yourself and make an investment in a coach or teacher, or trainer, or mentor, you don't need to buy your insecurities. You need to buy the results that you want. And you need to make sure that the people that you're investing in have the results. They have the formula for what it is that you need. Not repeating that story over and over again that's familiar to you that makes you say, yes, that's when you buy your insecurities. See it all the time. People tell people all kinds of things and that relate to their lack, that relates to their fears, that relates to their brokenness. And as a result of it, people say, oh my goodness, I can so relate to that. You can relate to that, but is that what you need? Okay? You need to invest in the results that you want. And you need to make sure your teachers have done the things that you want to have done. I hope this makes sense. I know I'm stepping on some toes, but I just want to be really clear with you guys. The other thing, if you're owning your power, you want to own your weaknesses, okay? You want to own your weaknesses. I mean, you need to be vulnerable enough to ask for what you need, and you need to stop acting like you have what you need, right? You need to stop acting like you have what you need, because when you do, people will not support you. And what you got to understand, there's a power in being weak sometimes. Sometimes just saying, look, I need help. I need support. I need someone else to help me out with chores. Whatever it is that you need in your business, then people can come forward, or in your life, people can come forward when you articulate it. But moms sometimes are really bad at it. We don't always say what we need because we are trying to show that we're strong and we got it going on. And as a result of that, you don't get the support that you really deserve because you're walking around like you already have what you need. So what you've got to understand, it's up to you. Like everything you want, I believe, is always around you if you're willing to articulate whatever it is that you need. And that takes being vulnerable enough to say, I need support. Okay? All right? Makes sense? All right? And next, you need to own your pruning. You need to own your pruning. All right? You need to own your pruning. And that means you need to get rid of what doesn't serve your highest good. Let me drink. You need to get rid of what doesn't serve your highest good. And so often we don't own our pruning. You know that there are people that need to go. You know that there are events that need to go, situations that need to be deleted from your life. And you keep saying yes to them, even though you know they need to go. But you need to own that. And you need to understand that pruning is essential to making room. Pruning is essential to growth in your life and in your business. And if you aren't willing to do that, then it's going to be really hard to make room for the next thing. And if you don't like where you are, or you don't like who's around you, then likely what you need to do is prune. You need to start pulling back, cutting back the layers of the things that are not working so you can make room for what is coming and that you really want. I always say for myself, whenever I look at my relationships or things in my business, if it doesn't serve my highest good, it's going to go. It's got to go. I mean, that's it. And you know what serves your highest good. It feels good. It feels right. It's productive. It feels loving. Anything other than that, I'm not doing it. Okay? So does that make sense? Does that make sense? Somebody let me know. Does that make sense? You guys understand that? Pruning is essential to growth. Okay? And then the next is, you guys are laid back today. And the next is, if you're owning, thank you so much. Okay, great. Okay. If you're owning your power, the next thing you need to do, you need to own your habits that prevent change and growth. Because let's be clear that sometimes you're washing dishes, sometimes what happens is we have these habits that won't go away, like these bad habits, all right, that we keep doing over and over again. We have these limiting beliefs about what's possible. We have these stories that play in our minds over and over again about how the outcome of a situation that we haven't tried yet. And you gotta own that. Right? You got to understand, if you want to change and you want to grow, you need to own what you're thinking about. You need to own your habits. You need to own your behaviors. And you got to see that, hey, this thing is not serving me. When I do this, if I sleep in, I'm not going to the gym when I sleep in. You need to see, if I don't pack my lunch, then I don't eat well during lunch. All right? You got to own your habits. You got to take responsibility for what you're doing, what your process is, what your ritual is for your life. That's how you own your power. And at the end of the day, it's all about being disciplined, or becoming more disciplined today than you were yesterday. That's how you change your life. That's how you change any situation within your life. And a lot of it is like not rocket science, but a lot of it, we know it, but we don't do it because it's so simple. That's the thing, right? It's like so simple. People say to me all the time, like, Mia, how is it that you knock out your goals? How do you get them done? Because I do 3 simple things every day. I'm very, very disciplined about the activities that I take each and every day. You guys know, even in Periscope, right? I'm pretty new to Periscope, under 60 days. Day 57 today, I think it is. I'm on Periscope every day. Once I make a commitment, I say, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a live stream every day. That's what I'm going to do. And I commit to it, even if it's 11 o'clock at night, which it is, right? So, okay. All right. So today what I'm talking about is how to own your power, right? And I'm just going to recap quickly for those of you who are just joining me. Hey there. I'm Mia Redrick. I am the mom strategist, and I'm sharing how to own your power. 1, own your brilliance, own your boundaries, own your mistakes, okay? You get to own your mistakes, all right? Don't judge yourself by them. Own your commitments. Whatever it is that you say and you commit to, you don't get to change that deal. People won't trust you when you say that. Next is own your community, right? You get to pick the communities that you want to be a part of, the tribes that you want to be a part of. You get to choose that. Own your investments. You got to understand that's your responsibility, not to turn over any investment that you're making to someone else. You need to do your due diligence and make sure that you're investing in what you need, okay? And not getting caught up in, personalities, and it's not real for you. It's not what you need at this moment. The next is, you need to own your weaknesses. You need to understand what you're not good at so you can create systems around it. You need to own your pruning, what you need to get rid of. So important. You need to own what you need to get rid of. We all have things that we need to let go of. So important and essential to growing. And lastly, you need to own your habits. You got to look at, what are you doing that's not working? And what are you doing that is working? And do more of what is working on the habit side of things. And what isn't working, you need systems around it to discipline yourself. That's it. That's it. Guys, that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Did this scope support you guys? This is tight, but it's right. Yeah, it is. It's tight, but it is right. And, and I kind of went through the list today and I was like, these are the things. I mean, this is what it is. If you want to own your power, you want to show up more powerfully, it's taking 100% responsibility for these areas of your life. And that's how you change your life, right? Knowing what those things are. I'm committed to giving you guys great and amazing content each and every day on the scope. And my only goal is to help you guys in 2016. I want to see more people knocking it out, like totally knocking it out the park. Okay. Are there any questions for me? Before I go, I'm going to give you guys maybe 5 to 10 seconds because I know it takes a minute to write in any questions that you might have for me. All right. And for those of you who are watching via the web, who just joined, I'm Mia Redrick. I'm the mom strategist. You can check me out at miaredrick.com or my past scopes at catch.me. Mia_Redrick. 2016, no more excuses, my personal mantra. I love it, right? No more excuses. Like, you don't get to do that anymore, right? Because you don't need them. Make your excuses your reasons to get the thing done. And you deserve it, and you deserve it. That's so cool. I love that, Tara. And I'm excited to be working with you in the Moms Academy. Are there any other questions? Any comments, anything like that before we sign out? It's snowing here in Maryland. You guys should know it is snowing. They said it was going to snow on Friday, and the weather people were wrong. And it's snowing. It's about 2 inches outside already. Just started snowing about an hour and a half ago. Okay. You're awesome. I appreciate you, Shanita. Good to see you again. I'm so excited. And so I'll be scoping a lot because I don't drive in the snow, so I'll be here coming up with some topics for you guys to support you guys this week, okay? All right, so it's late. I know you need to get some Z's. Very insightful. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to talk to you guys soon, so have a good night, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye.